If you're a service-based business owner and you're struggling with lack of clarity, you're struggling with unpredictability while scaling, I'm going to run through the most important metric you need to find out today. This metric is CAC to LTV, and this is the most important metric when it comes to acquiring customers. If you don't understand this metric, please watch the full video. I'll break down what it is, I'll break down how to find it, and I'll also break down how you can apply it to your business. Firstly, what is CAC to LTV? CAC to LTV is a ratio between what it costs us to acquire a customer and the lifetime value this customer generates us in profit. This number here, it really helps us understand the economics of our marketing. Okay, so CAC stands for customer acquisition cost and LTV stands for lifetime value. We look at this in terms of profit, not revenue. Okay, again, this ratio helps us understand how much profit we make for every euro we spend when acquiring a customer. It's such an essential ratio to understand. So in the next few slides, I'm going to show you how we think about it and how we actually find this number. A common mistake we see is business owners being too short-term focused. CAC to LTV forces us to look at the big picture and forces us to look at our marketing campaign over the span of years, not days. Okay, so here's an example that might drive the point home. If we spend €20 on ads and we get a customer that brings in €50 in revenue, okay, if you have a 50% profit margin, you only make €25 in profit, but if you subtract the ad spend, you're actually only left with €5 in profit. Not a very successful campaign, okay? With other costs in the business, the business probably wouldn't be profitable. So this would be considered unsuccessful marketing. But I believe this logic is flawed. And I'll tell you why. The reason why this does not work when looking at your marketing is because most businesses have reoccurring/repeat customers. The same customer that cost us €20 to acquire might actually come back 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, so we look at the lifetime value of this customer. If they come back twice a year for 5 years, this actually brings in €500 in revenue, and with the same profit margin, it brings us €250 in profit. Okay, so it's a completely different story to this situation here. The customer that costs us €20 to acquire actually brings us €500 in revenue, not €50 in revenue. Okay, so over the space of 5 years, this customer brings us €250 in profit. And then if we subtract the ad spend, okay, so we're left with €230 in profit. The CAC to LTV is 1 to 12.5. Meaning, over the span of the full customer journey, if we spend €1, we get €12.50 in profit. Looking at marketing like this helps us spend more to acquire a customer and also helps us feel a little bit better about what we're spending and the whole view and the long-term vision for the business. So it's so important to understand this, because if a business owner looked at this situation and said, oh my God, I'm making €5 in profit from my marketing, they would say, unsuccessful, let's bin this. But if they had a bit more of a long-term vision, they'd understand that no, that's not the case. We're actually making €250 in profit if we minus the ad spend. If we spend €20, we generate €230 in profit. So it's so important to understand the full view of your marketing. So as I said, CAC to LTV in this situation here is 1 to 12.5. Over the space of 5 years, if we put in €1, over the lifetime of the business, it generates €12.50. Okay, so for every €1 we spend, we get €12.50 in profit, not revenue. We believe that's a profitable, scalable business. So if we can get a CAC to LTV ratio above 1 to 10, we believe this can be a money printing machine. All we have to do is put €1 in, and over time, this will generate us €10, or in this circumstance, 12.5, or €12.50. So as you can see, finding this out for your business is essential. Okay, you want to be able to advise your marketing team on how much we can afford to spend to stay above the 1 to 10. Okay, so we really need to understand this number. So finding it out for your business is essential. If you're a service-based business, okay, that's who we work with, you should have a software that shows you this. Okay, we have our custom softwares for our partners, but if you aren't working with us, okay, you need to find out your LTV. Okay, most booking softwares will show you this. If it doesn't, you need to switch, but just find it out. If you're only starting up or you don't have a software in place, just look at your previous customers. How many times are they ringing your phone to come and get a job done? Okay, probably twice a year, whatever it is. You can estimate this value, okay? You can use metrics like if you're a dental clinic or a physio, you can use metrics like APV. This is the average patient value. This will, again, most booking softwares will show you this. But if you're not, if you're a contractor or something, just look at LTV through your software. And then you'll understand exactly what that's generating you in LTV. And then you can break it down to profit. Here's an example for a dentist. Let's say you acquire a patient, okay? And this patient comes in twice a year for an average of €100 checkup. Over the space of 5 years, this generates €1,000 in revenue. If you're operating at 50% profit margin, you're generating €500 in profit. Now we know exactly what that's worth to you. Okay, so again, go to your software, check how much times a patient comes back, and just multiply it by the average order value of your service. And then you can kind of break it all the way down to the amount of profit each patient is bringing you. Okay, if we looked at this short-term based, okay, if we were marketing and we spent €50 to get this patient to come in for a €100 checkup, this would not be profitable. Our profit margin would be 0% because we have 50% profit margins. So for €100, we generate €50 in revenue. If we didn't look at this in terms of CAC to LTV, we would say not profitable. But by looking at the CAC to LTV, we can actually understand, well, this customer comes back twice a year. So every year they bring us actually €200 in revenue and €100 in profit. And then over the space of years and years and years, okay, if you have a good business, they should be coming back to you, referring people, so we can actually afford to spend a good bit to acquire this customer. Again, if we want to stay above 1:10 CAC to LTV, we can afford to spend €50 in ad spend to generate €500 in profit. Okay, so again, you can advise your marketing team or you can advise yourself on what you can afford to spend. And if you're spending above that, you need to fix your marketing. You need to come up with different strategies. And then over time, you can bring this number down till you hit the sweet spot number. Our target metrics. As I've said, okay, we always aim for a CAC to LTV of 1:10. So for every €1 we put in, we get €10 in profit. So for example, if a customer gives us €500 in profit, we can afford to spend €50 to acquire them. We build absolutely everything in marketing around this number. If we're above this number, okay, so if we're spending €80 to acquire them, we do whatever we can to bring this number down to at least 50. Okay, so if we're not at 1:10, all our effort goes into building a system that acquires a customer for €50. And then we keep on optimizing that till it drops below 50, and we keep on doing that till we're extremely profitable. Okay, if we can get to 1:20, ideal. We keep on going up until we can get the most bang for our buck. We actually generated one of our partners 1:82, which was insane. So this customer has a very high value service. So for every €1 we put in, we generated €82 in profit over the lifetime of this customer journey. Just to summarize things up, okay, CAC to LTV lets you scale predictably and reliably. Okay, you know exactly the economics of your marketing if you understand CAC to LTV. Okay, if you spend €1 and make €10 in profit, we've essentially got a money printing machine. Okay, on top of all your other expenses, this should make you extremely profitable. Every business should know this number and optimize for it. Talk to your marketing team, do the marketing yourself, talk to your agency, whoever you use, make sure they're staying above 1:10 CAC to LTV. If you want our help with any of this, okay, if you're a service-based business looking to grow revenue, maximize your profitability, and acquire customers profitably for your most profitable services, book a short call with me below. Okay, there'll be a link in the description where you can book a call with me personally, and we can see if we can help you scale predictably using CAC to LTV.